Hello guys, welcome back to today's tutorial. So in today's video we're going to be learning how to cut this beautiful cowl neck dress. So if it's something that interests you to learn, make sure to watch to the end of the video. Please like, share, subscribe and leave a comment. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video proper. So we are going to drop this on our pattern paper before cutting on our actual fabric. So I'm going to come to the top of the paper here and I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement. My shoulder divided by 2 is 7.5. So I'm going to mark that right here. So on that point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slant. You know our shoulders are not straight, right? And I'm going to rule the points all the way, like so. From the shoulder slant, I'm going to come down to mark my arm length. How to get your arm length? You divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inch to it. So I'm going to measure this to see I have the exact thing I have on the shoulder line as well. And I'm going to connect the 2 points together. And I'll go ahead and rule the line across. So this is now our chest line. From the top of the paper, I'm going to come down to mark my waist point, which is 15. From my shoulder to my waist is 15. I'll go ahead and rule that across as well. So this is my waist line and this is my chest line. So from the waist line, I'm going to come down to mark my hip points. So from my waist to my hip is 9. So I'm going to mark it right here. And I'm going to rule the line across as well. So this is my hip line. And I'm going to use the whole of this pattern paper as my length. I'm still going to add some extra inches on the actual fabric. So from the top of the paper, I'll come to mark my bust point. I forgot to do that earlier and I'm going to rule that across as well. So this is my bust line. So I'll go ahead and impute my round measurement. My bust divided by 4 is 8.5. I'm going to mark it on the bust line here and I'm going to extend the point all the way to the chest line. So I'm going to take my tape. I'll measure this arm length line and divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. On that point, I'm going to go in by half an inch. And I'm going to connect all the points with my curve rule all the way to the chest line, like so. So this is our arm curve. So I'll come to the waistline and mark my waist measurement. My waist divided by 4 is 6.5. I'm going to mark it right here on the waistline. I'll do the same thing on the hip line. My hip divided by 4 is 9. I'll mark it right there. So I'll connect all the points together with my ruler. So whatever I have on my hip line, I'm going to subtract 1 inch from that and I'll mark it on the hemline. So subtract 1 inch from whatever you have on your hip line. And I'll connect all points together. So I'll just go ahead and smoothen all sharp edges. You know, we don't have any sharp edge on our body, so I'll go ahead and smoothen all sharp edges like so. So I'll come to the top of the paper here and mark my neck. So I'm using 3 inches for the neck width. Though we don't need this neck for our tutorial, but since we are drafting the basic block, I will mark it anyway. So for the depth, for the neck depth, I mark 1 inch for the back and 3 inches for the front. So I'll go ahead and connect all points. So I'll use another different color for the front. Now I'm going to add my sewing allowance, so I'll mark ½ inch on the armhole and then 1 inch on the rest of the measurement. Then I'll connect all points together. I'll go ahead and cut it out. So now I'm going to create my neck. So from the chest line, I went up by 4 inches. So from the chest line, I went up by 4 inches. You can go higher than 4 inches or lower than 4 inches. It depends on what you want, okay? So I'll go ahead and cut it out now. So we'll now go ahead and cut on our fabric. So my material is on fold. This space here is for our zipper. The allowance is 1.5 inch. So I'm going to fold this in from the chest. From the chest, I'm going to fold it in. The back neck is different from the front. As you can see on the fabric, the shape from the hip downward, I actually wanted the gown to be flay under. Like from the hip, you can see the chalk, but I later changed my mind because I felt like since it's a 3/4 gown, leaving it flay under won't come out fine. So I later changed it to our initial pattern. I believe as we go on with the tutorial, you understand what I am talking about. So I added some extra inches to the length, and that was all for it. So I went ahead to cut it out. Now you can see it's having like a line kind of shape from the hip downward, but I later trimmed it out to the pattern. And I went ahead to tear the zipper open as well. That was all for it. So if at this point you have not subscribed to my channel, please, what are you waiting for? Make sure to subscribe. Subscription is totally free. Hit on the subscription button and subscribe, like, share, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure to leave a comment. Yes, very important, leave a comment. We are still going to make some adjustments on the back. So this is the neck I want the back to have. So I came down by 4 inches. If you want a different neck, you can go ahead and do that for yourself as well. So and I'll connect that point all the way to the armhole. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. We are done with the back. I'm going to keep this aside so we can work on the front pattern. So we are going to do slash and spread method. So I'm going to tear it up from the chest line all the way. Make sure you don't cut everything out like so, and we are going to spread it on another pattern paper like this. So the inches I have here is 4 inches. If you want you can add more inches. The more inches you add, the more deep your cowl neck will be. So it depends on what you want, okay? So I'll just trace everything out like so. So this is it for the front. So now we'll go ahead and cut on the fabric. So I'm going to add some extra inches to the length, just the way we did for the back. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Now you can see that I'm cutting the exact measurement for the pattern paper on the fabric. So this is what I was talking about when we were cutting the back pattern. I'm very sorry that my camera could not capture everything. I didn't know that it was this way until I was done with the recording, so you guys should pardon me. So we now go ahead and cut facing for both pieces. So this is for the front. So where my facing stop is 1 inch below the bust line, okay, because I'm going to use the facing to turn the neck all the way to the armhole. So make sure the facing is up to your armhole. So it's 1 inch below the bust line, and make sure your fabric is on fold when cutting the facing as well. So this is it for the front. For the back, facing is up to the waist point, and make sure it's on fold as well, because we have 2 pieces for the back, right? We have 2 pieces for the back. Make sure your fabric is on fold when cutting. Then I'll tear this open because it's 2 pieces we need for the back. So this is it for the back. We have the 2 pieces here. So we'll place our facing to the material right side to right side and sew all the way. It's the same thing we are going to do for the front as well. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and fold my facing under before. So I've already gone ahead to do that, to fold my facing under. So I've gone ahead to create my straps as well for the 2 hand. I'm going to place it ½ inch away from the armhole so we can turn the armhole with the facing as well. And then you place the facing on top this way, leave ½ inch away from the armhole, and then you place the facing, and then we are going to sew from the armhole. We're going to sew from the armhole all the way to the other one. So I'll go ahead and do that now. So I'll go ahead and turn the back with my facing, join the side and the zipper together before bringing it to the camera again. So I've gone ahead to do that. So what we are going to do now, I'm from the center of the zip, I'm going to go out by 4 inches. So make sure you hold your zipper before. I'll go out by 4 inches from the center. I'll do the same thing on the other side. This is where we are going to place our strap, okay? So this is it, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I'm going to lose this side so we can insert our strap inside. You can actually use your seam ripper to loosen it up to open the side up, okay? So it's now open. I'm going to insert my strap this way. I actually wanted a crisscross back for myself. If you want yours to just be a normal hand, you can as well do that for yourself, okay? So I'll just insert this way and arrange it properly. So this is how it's going to be. I'll go ahead and pin it down with my pin before we sew on it. So we are almost done with this video. This is all for this tutorial. What we are going to do next is to add our zipper. So I'm going to go ahead and open the zipper up and add a zipper. So thank you so much for staying tuned.